Hey, here we are. The head's made of cheese, said more DeSantis, please. Yes, Ron is on a roll, according to this new Wisconsin poll. A straw poll, now made with real straw. I don't even know why I left that in there. Has Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ahead of Donald Trump as the preferred GOP frontrunner in 2024. And we'll know the moment the media takes DeSantis seriously when they label him a white supremacist. Conducted over the weekend at the Wisconsin Republican Convention, or WORC, attendees were asked to choose between dozens of potential candidates for president, as well as a variety of homegrown cheeses. 38% of voters chose DeSantis compared to 32% for Trump, and the remaining 30% moved to Florida. This is just one of many recent polls echoing a broader sentiment that Governor DeSantis' popularity is growing faster than Douglas Murray's biceps.
Oh.
Did I not tell you the orphan blood would work?
What?
So if Trump decides to run again, he might have his work cut out for him in the Republican primary. But before we draw any conclusions, the poll comprised of only, 325 people. That's smaller than other straw polls, but larger than the audience for The Daily Show. Kellyanne, this is interesting because, well, I'm not going to tell you what I think. I want to know what you think about this.
I think Ron DeSantis has been an extraordinary, excellent, superb governor of Florida. And he's made national news on any number of fronts. And I was there in 2018 when President Trump was campaigning for Ron DeSantis, helped him in the primary, helped him in the general. We almost had Andrew Gillum.
Yes.
Look him up as the governor of Florida. I think that results produce consequences, and that's why there's a buzz around Governor DeSantis. He'll have a monster reelection. He's raised, I think, $100 million. But on this particular straw poll, I think people like to make a big deal out of Trump's endorsements, this straw poll, that show. 325 people is less than I had at my wedding. And I think that...
I wasn't invited.
You were.
Oh, wait.
Better luck next time. And...
Oh, yeah. Oh, we broke... Interesting.
And...
Yeah.
So in this... But how did Roquefort do in the poll, by the way? You didn't tell us.
Who?
Roquefort.
Who's that?
Cheese.
Ah!
Oh, my gosh.
Look, I think that Ron DeSantis is all, he wants to. He would love to run in 2024 for two big reasons.
What?
Number one, there's so much unfinished business he wanted to tackle in a second term. And number two, relatedly, Joe Biden is running this country on spite, and spite is no way to run a country. Everything's unraveling because Trump did it. He wants to undo it. And he sees, like we all do, that people are hurting. You have infants that can't get baby formula. You have people dying of drug overdoses. The border is insecure. Putin's in Ukraine. Iran's staring at Israel. It all went to
I just
crap.
wish these infants would stop crying.
But I don't know that DeSantis runs if Trump does. I don't know if DeSantis runs if Trump does. And I know the donors are very hot on DeSantis, and they're always wrong. If I were Ron DeSantis, I'd tell the donors, please stop saying my name. They usually pick the wrong person.
So, Douglas, I'm going to float you my theory. Do you know there was this research about there were a lot of airline disasters in South Korea, and it was because, like, the assistant captain, co-pilot, wouldn't tell the head pilot when he was making a mistake, so they switched him, right? They made the co-pilot the pilot, so the person with more seniority was the co-pilot who would tell the other guy what to do. My theory is, wouldn't it be great if DeSantis run with Trump as VP? Mind-blowing, right? I know.
That's worse than your theory earlier about self-driving cars. I don't understand your theories.
But I'm saying that, like, you have the guy who's been there saying, okay, this is what you should do. It's like he has his protege as president.
Yeah, there's one problem with that. Trump's the leader of the America First movement, and we don't think of him as a number two.
Trump would like to be vice president. You really think that?
No, I just thought it was
you really see
a fun theory.
You really see a situation where he said, I'd like to replace Kamala Harris.
He would debate Kamala.
How much fun would Trump as VP be?
Oh, sure.
Hilarious. He would do whatever he wants. It would be hilarious. He'd just be great.
Yeah.
This is great. This reminds me of sports. Let's trade LeBron James for 2 role players and $50.
It is true.
This is not happening.
This is my fantasy politics league. So you think it's a stupid idea?
No, I just didn't follow the logic.
Okay. Don't expect logic from me.
It's because you don't speak Gutfeld.
Yeah.
I speak Gutfeld.
What? Then address what I just said.
Translate.
Tell me what I meant to say.
No, you said what you meant to say. It's just wrong.
Are these are bad reviews from your panelists?
No, I don't.
These are very bad reviews.
Trump doesn't need
Where's
to
Kat?
be the VP to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He was the president and did whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I just find this whole poll, though, just a big old tease. We got 2.5 years left of Joe Biden. This is like getting everybody's hopes up.
Yeah, it is true. We're not even halfway through this mess, right? We got to claw our way through this. Wow. Gee whiz. Struck a nerve there, Will. Either that or the cafeteria food we fed them finally hit them.
You redeemed
there's
your
only one
terrible Trump as vice president idea by giving him a worse thing to focus on.
I was just thinking it was like, I was trying to make this interesting, guys.
President Trump is the leader of the America First movement. The America First movement is taking over state by state across this country. And isn't it fascinating that we're sitting here debating two really strong politicians on the right, and you can't find one, and that's not partisanship, that is a fact. You can't find one on the left.
Here my next theory. America second. Because, like, being in the second spot, you could help the other country, like, I don't know.
This is fair. I love it.
You like this?
Keep going.
Yes. So Canada first, America second.
Winner.
Thank you. All right.
Brilliant.
I think I salvaged that segment.